All right, let's then take this discussion further. We're joined via Zoom by the General Secretary of the South African Democratic Teachers Union, Mugwena Maluleke. Thank you so very much for joining us this afternoon here on SABC News, Mr. Maluleke. A warm welcome to you.
Thank you, and good afternoon to the viewers at home, and thank you for the opportunity.
It seems to be some mixed reaction then this afternoon as we're sort of getting news in as to how, teachers and support staff are reacting to the vaccination drive, which obviously started then today. Talk to us about what, your members, those affiliated to your union, are saying this afternoon. I know that there had been some kinds of issues. I read that there was, wrong vaccinations dropped off at some point at some venues where it was Pfizer instead of J&J. I mean, there were some sticky issues going on. Maybe you can take us through what the reactions are and what you have been hearing.
Thank you for the question, indeed. Despite all the hitches that we have met today, we need to appreciate that this is a huge project and an ambitious target of 14 days of vaccination. And of course, our members' reaction on the ground so far is very enthusiastic, very encouraging, very impressive, because they want to be vaccinated and so forth. And of course, yes, as I said, despite those technical problems that are there, they are still prepared to queue and wait for their turn to be vaccinated. Yeah, of course, there were incidents in Bloemfontein today where members turned out in big numbers as a result of miscommunication by the districts and so forth. And then the situation is being handled, and therefore members have been addressed to be patient and so forth, because everyone wants to be the first to be vaccinated and take up this particular privilege that we have been given by the people of our country to be vaccinated first, just to be in the front line like this, and to be given this opportunity. We must be grateful of our people and the public in general for really allowing the teachers and the education personnel to be vaccinated. So yeah, they are very excited, and they are coming up in numbers, and they keep on asking us when is our school going to be, and then we keep on giving them the information. Of course, there are those that are not yet convinced about the vaccination, and we're doing our best as the 5 unions to give information.
Yeah, we're talking about the issue of the queues, and that was quite an issue that was spoken about today. You're saying that issue is being handled, and I'd like you to talk to us about how exactly it's being handled, because there were you might have seen a lot of concerns around that being an issue of it being, in an ironic way, a super spreader event of having so many people at one place then coming for a vaccine. So I wonder how this issue is then being handled. As you say, there are many teachers and support staff who indeed want to get that vaccination. And so how is that communication? You said there was some sort of miscommunication. How is all of that being sorted out so that we don't see some of those chaotic scenes that we saw in Bloemfontein, for example?
Thank you for that question. Indeed, the information we can give out now is that the workers have been addressed by their unions, all of them, because they were there, but also the district officials that were there to address them, to say, look, they will be given the dates when they will then be scheduled for vaccination, and therefore some of them had to be sent back home, and therefore they will then be scheduled, as we had agreed with the Department of Education, that there must be a schedule so that there is a minimal disruption of classes and education when the teachers are going to be vaccinated. So there was never any intention at the national level between us and the ministry that schools will be closed when they are going for vaccination. However, some of the districts were not able to communicate that information. So how they are doing it is now each and every principal will then be able to receive information to say, at this particular time, your staff will be vaccinated at particular site, and this is the site, this is the time, and this is the date, because we have got to do everything by the 8th of July. So that information is being given to them, and they are correcting how they have been handling the issues, so that we don't see super spreaders when people in actual fact are going there to say we want to save lives, and we end up having the rising numbers because everyone else wants to be vaccinated, and they think that the vaccination or the doses will run short, and therefore they want to be the first. And we can't blame them for that, because because I think we've been waiting for this particular vaccine for a very long time, and therefore as it comes, people react in different ways, and we appreciate the fact that the officials were there to be able to handle the situation, and it is really encouraging to see people coming out in numbers.
And just as a final point before we wrap up our conversation, I like the term that you used there in terms of saying that this is, after all, quite an ambitious project launched by the Education Department together with the Health Department. As things stand, do you have faith that the department will be able to reach that tight deadline that they've set for themselves, really, to vaccinate all teachers by July 8th?
Yeah, well, the question is very difficult because you're asking about my faith.
Go ahead.
Of course. Right. Look, we had the belief that this ambitious target is very important because we have seen our country celebrating mediocrity. Yeah. We have seen that we're celebrating when we have just vaccinated about 70,000, when other countries are vaccinating 150,000 per day. And that has always been our concern. So therefore, this ambitious target, we believe it is achievable as long as we do the right thing. And with the numbers that we have seen and with the enthusiasm that we have seen, indeed, we believe that it is achievable. However, should it happen that we're not able to achieve this particular target, there's still time before the beginning of the new term to vaccinate everyone.
All right, Mr. Maluleke, always a pleasure talking to you. Thank you again for giving us your time, as always, sir. Thank you. All right, that is Mr. Mugwena Maluleke, who is the General Secretary of the South African Democratic Teachers Union.